Hello everyone. Just gonna check my volume really quickly. Alright, perfect. We're in business. Welcome back to another live stream, everybody. My name is Bobby Zen, and today we're going to be doing a sweet treat. So this is our sweet treat that we worked on last week. It's like a lemon pastry, and I have just been thinking about doing this little gem right here. I think that'll be really fun. So I figured we could get back in the flow of Blender. It's been about a week since I've been live. I've missed you guys. A lot been going on in my personal life, but I always want to find my way back to Blender. So here we are. We're going to do a sweet treat. So this was last week's. This was really fun, surprising, but I had a good time doing that one. So we are going to use some of the assets from other treats. I'm just kind of obsessed with like doing sweet treats. I don't know. So we are going to, I think we gotta get all those in there. Let me open that back up. Just gonna make sure we get all these in the right collection. And then we'll work on our pastry. Let me get rid of that. We'll put our little flowers in there as well. So cute. But I've been really excited to work on this blueberry like cake in a glass. I think it's so pretty. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, cool. We're gonna move that there. That gives us like a nice empty plate. We can even hide the plate, I guess, for now. We don't need any distractions. So let me turn that off in the rendered view. All right, let's go into shading view, and we'll use, I guess we could hide the stage for now as well. Not critical. So the reason I like working in this particular file is because I just have so many assets in this file. So I can just kind of pull from different pastries that I've done. I also pulled an old macaroon file, an old macaroon FBX that I have. So I'll actually show you that really quickly. And I'm going to use a lot of I think it's really tiny. Oh, it's below. Okay. I'm going to use this macaroon asset. Where are my macaroons? Hold on. It's so tiny. Do you see how small that is? I can't believe it. Okay. So let me pull it up. You can't even like see it. Wow. No, really. It can't be that small. This is for real. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my gosh. I did that for my Ariana Grande Thank You Next perfume. That was one of the assets that I made. And if you notice here, like I did a lot of deforming and denoising to make what this is called the feet of the macaroon. So this took quite a while. So instead of redoing that again, I'm just going to utilize that for our so what I think I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to shifty the whole thing. So can I just duplicate the whole, yeah, okay. So we're going to duplicate the collection, and I'll hide this macaroon. So in case in the future we want to do like other macaroons, like something like this, I think that'd be really pretty, because I still do have my bakery scene that I need to finish. And the idea is to make the sweet treats to put into the bakery scene. So that'd be really pretty to just have all different sorts of macaroons. So we do have the base, and then we could just add a bunch of fun stuff to each one, like this image here. But I'm going to use the feet of the macaroon to essentially focus on the layers of the cake. We'll use meta balls for like the whipped cream and the icing. We'll create this glass. I have blueberries that I've modeled already for previous things. And then again, like meta balls, we'll work on the color. We can add some different shading techniques to just give it like texture. We have those flowers that we just made in the last project that we can add on here. Whipped cream, of course, more blueberries. We can make a cute little mint leaf. I think that'd be fun. This is clearly not the kind of spoon we would want, but we can even make a spoon and put the spoon in there. But I've just been dreaming of making this particular sweet treat. I don't know why. So I want to do this one today. I think it'll be a fun enough challenge, but we have enough assets to support us through it. And also I want to get better at using things that I've already created instead of just making every single thing from scratch, because it'll just cut a lot of my productivity time in half. So with that being said, I gotta make this macaroon much larger, so I'm gonna scale it up a ton, because what? And then we'll Control A and apply the scale, and then let's get out and see. You see how small that is? That's so crazy. Let me scale it up even more. And I'm scaling it in object mode so that I don't end up with like a ton of deforming. Let's actually see this. Let me pull out maybe this pastry and compare it to this. So let's scale it down a lot more, just so everything's kind of like the same general size. So that's cool. That works for me. All right, so I'm gonna Control A, I'll hit scale. I'll actually turn on my screencast keys. If you do want to see what I'm doing, it'll be, let's see where they are. They'll pop up somewhere. I don't know where I put them this time. Let me see here. I'm just gonna do just default and see where it brings us. Oh, they're down here. What happens is I put it to black sometimes. Okay, you can see it in the bottom left corner there. So there they are. Let's hide the lemon pastry. We can hide that macaroon as well. And then perfect. So I'm gonna press the slash key, and we'll just use these for the inside. But first, actually, we can go ahead and make the glass. Let's make the container. So the way I'm gonna make this glass, let me think here. I'm gonna do the base first, and then I'll do this part. So I'm gonna use a single vert for this, and I'll tell you why. So I'm gonna single vert it. I'm gonna jump into isolation mode, and then just look at it straight on. And then let's get a little closer. Okay, so I'm gonna E on the X, and I'm just gonna pull it over. Oh, you gotta be in vertex mode so you can see what you're doing. And then I'm going to E on the Z. And you know what? Let me do this just like that. Okay. And then now I'm just gonna grab it. So this is gonna be the base, because we're gonna use the screw modifier, so that'll be my base. But I'm going to E. I'm just gonna grab it kind of where I want to have it go out until. So I'll go maybe here. I'm gonna click E again. Maybe do something like something like that. And then I'm going to E on the X. We're going to pull it straight across. Maybe here we'll E on the Z. And then I'll E this way a little bit. I'm going to E up a little bit. And then I'll E a little bit more. And then I'll E on the Z. Maybe like that much. And then for a little bit more detail, I'm going to E out, up, and then over a little. And I think that should do it. Also, hold on. I think we're going to need to take this point here and E on the X because I don't think, is that a point or is that just my origin? I can't tell. Let me see. I'm going to maybe select these two and see if I click M by distance. Okay, no, that's not a point. So I'm going to E on the X so that we have the actual base. And we'll just go there. Okay, so now what we'll do, we'll start there. We can always tweak things if we need to. So I have this shape, right? And then I'm going to go to my modifier. And I'm going to do add modifier. And we'll do screw modifier. See? And there's my little base. That's so cute. That's exactly what I want. Literally. Perfect. Okay? So that's our base of our glass. And then of course we're gonna subdivide and we'll do all that to smooth it out. But that's the basis. I think that looks really good. So let's go ahead and add another modifier and we'll do a subdivision surface and it makes it much smoother. Of course we can do a couple more subdivisions. I'll do maybe like 3. I think that's solid. I actually love it. I think it's so pretty. We can also, we can actually click these maybe. And then I'll right click and we can subdivide. And that could make it a little bit sharper there. And then also the really cool thing when you use this method is like you can grab a vertice and manipulate it, right? So if it's not exactly what you want, you can use the vertice to get it where you want it. So like I'm wanting it just a little bit more rounded, but I love using the single vert tool. I think it's really cool. You can get some really cool shapes. I did a lot of bar glassware, so my alternative job is bartender. So for a good while I wanted to do like barware, and I use this technique. And if you don't have this, you would just go to your preferences and you're gonna go to add-ons, and I think it's extra mesh objects. So you would just type extra mesh objects, and I think the most updated Blender might just have it in the add-ons, and you can just click it. And then once you apply that, you'll just shift A, and it's just under single vert, and then you'll just add a single vert. So super helpful if you want to make really unique shapes. So I think that looks pretty good. I don't really want to change too much of it. I'm very happy with that. Now the base, I don't really know why the base looks like this. I could have double vertices, I'm not really sure. I mean, we're not going to see the bottom of this, so that doesn't really matter. Oh, I see. You see there's two vertices right there? So let's merge those two by distance. And let's see if that helps at all. Yeah, we got to get rid of one of them. So what if we get rid of this one? Nah. Let me see. Let me do the X-ray mode. I knew there was something kind of sketchy going on. I guess I could dissolve one. These are just a tiny, I mean, it's not even, you're not going to see the bottom, but you see there's like two vertices there. So I'm trying to think how I could get to that secondary one. I guess I could just pull this out a little bit. This one, and then hit X, and we'll just do dissolve that one. It's not letting me dissolve it, so okay, I think if we delete it, we're good. Okay, perfect. And if I grab you, trip too much off that, and we're gonna solidify it as well, so should be fine. Okay, all right, let's just leave that where it is, like that. Little bit more round. Okay, cool. So that's our base, and then I'm also going to add a solidify modifier. Oh baby, let's crank that down a lot. Oh, it's even too much. We just want a little bit of thickness so that when we do apply the glass shader, it looks like glass. I think because it's so small, that's why we, oh, this geometry is gonna kill me. Hold on. That's not gonna work for me. Hold on, let me see what I did wrong here. I mean, I guess it's okay. It's just underneath that's driving me insane. But, see something. Be okay with this. I think this is cool. actually, if I tab in here, and then I grab, I want it to be a little bit more detailed. Alright, let's leave that there, because I feel like I'm getting really anal about something that's like not that deep. Okay, cool. So we have the base here, and then we'll work on the glass portion. So I think for the glass portion, I do really like this detail at the base, so I think I'll use a cylinder for this because I can use the geometry of a cylinder to get that to look pretty similar to that. So let's see how many we have. So we maybe want like half this amount. So we'll do, I guess we could do like 16. 16 feels good. Let me tab into edit mode and I'll scale it down to fit the base of our just that small? Why are my objects so small? I'm just so confused. Holy smokes. It's so tiny. Alright, let me back up. And I gotta scale this to make it much bigger. So tiny, but for now we'll just rock out with maybe that size. I'm gonna Control A, scale it. Let's get this on the stage just so we have a bit of a foundation here. Like that. Alright, now we'll do the cylinder. Scale on the I'm trying to scale on everything. Okay, I want to scale. No, that's not what I want. I want to scale on the X and the Y. Like that. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we want to do that. Just 2. Is I want to edge select, so I'm going to hit 2. And I essentially want to select all the edges. Hold on, before I do that, I'm trying to think here. First, let me select the bottom face. Let me select the bottom face. I'm going to scale this on the XY. To give it that look, just like that. And then before I do any loop cuts, I'm going to do the edge select again. So I'm going to select, I think if we go to select and then select similar length. Okay, so I think it'll pick all of my edges. And then I want to Control B. And I just want to bevel it out. Maybe not as much, but maybe like 3 like that. And then maybe if I Alt S. Uh-oh, I think I clicked save, but that's good. I do need to save. What we don't need is freezing. That's gonna be no good. Okay, we're good. All right, now we're Alt S-ing. Okay, no, we don't want to do that. Let me see if I scale. Let me see. All right. So we're selecting this similar length, and then what do I want to do? I think it's got to be Alt E in my mind. Okay, let me Control B. And I want to simplify the bevel a bit. And then I think I want to Alt E. And let's see individual faces, what that gives. But is it out or in? I can't tell. I think it's in. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get this. Let me see. think I could go here and just do individual origins and then we'll E on normals, but it's not utilizing all the geometry, and that's what's kind of throwing me off here. So I'm going to undo that because I don't know why these edges are not also responding. That sometimes happens. So I'm going to try something else. I'm going to jump out of here really. Oh, well, we have the edges kind of doing what we want, but not quite. But also, okay, here's what we also could do. I can Alt E. Let's just see if we do faces. Yeah, it's kind of doing what we want. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna try Alt S again. It's kind of the same situation. So I'm gonna just pull it out just a little. We'll pull it out a little like that, and then I think what I'll do, see how it's kind of separate. This, I don't want it separate. I want this geometry to respond as well, but I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna go into my modifier. And I'm gonna subdivide and see what happens. See what happens. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Let me see. I mean, kinda. Just gonna have to subdivide a ton. And I don't think that's what we want. I mean, no, we're gonna have to go so crazy with the subdivisions. Let me jump out of here and see what that looks like. That's crazy. But let me see. We'll pull it back. Alright, I'm pulling it back to about here, and then maybe if we subdivide it like this, and then if I grab that on the Z, pull that down. Okay, we'll leave that one there, but then I'll put one about there, and then I'm gonna select this one and dissolve it. I don't need this one necessarily. So we'll dissolve that edge. We just want this edge, I think. And then what I'll do, because it's not that detailed up here, so I think what I'll do is I'll select faces, I'll click this, and this, and this, and then I'll do select similar area. Oof, nope. I'll do select similar. You know what? I'll just select them. Save myself the trouble. I know this is like so obnoxious, but why we're upside down, I don't know. It's okay. Alright, let's get back to it, and then I'm going to let's Alt E this. We'll do along normals. Maybe just like that much, and then I'm gonna edge select here's the order that I do these things. So I need to edge select everything. So select the whole bottom edge, so I'm going to go into X-ray mode. I'm just going to select the bottom edges, and then I'm going to Control B for a bevel. And I just don't want my bevel to look like that. But actually it kind of makes sense for it to look like that right now. And then this might be a big mistake. I'm just trying to get this. Doing a bunch of trial and error right now. I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna do Alt E, on normals. Pull it out a little bit. Maybe even just that much. And then I'm gonna take wow. Not quite what we're looking for, but I'm gonna let me add a few loop cuts. Let's do like 5 or 6. We'll do 6 loop cuts and then I'll subdivide it. Okay, what are we thinking here? I mean, there are details, but it's not exactly what we're looking for. You know? Alright, so I'm gonna leave it right there, and then let's add 6. Tab. I mean, now it doesn't matter because I don't have any extrusion, so it kind of does matter. Okay, I think I can work with this better than I can work with what I had going. So let's do that. Grab on the Z. Okay. Maybe we'll add one more. And then up here we gotta add a bunch more to make it flat. Grab on the Z. Yup. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna hit 3. Select for this. Grab this on the Z. Okay, I could roll with that. I don't think those loop cuts are necessarily critical. we can grab this on the Z. And then maybe what I can do, just want to see what will happen. Oh, great. Okay. Okay, so that might be what we want to do. Like use the grab tool. So I'm gonna do maybe from here down. I wonder if I can Alt G, is that a thing? Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna literally take this and I'm just gonna grab on the Y and pull it inward just slightly. So why don't I choose these front ones, because these will all kind of go in the same direction. And just a little bit of like an indentation, not anything crazy. And then let me come over here. And do the same. So we'll go here, 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 here. And then we'll grab all of these. I'm sure there's a better way I could be doing this, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm gonna deselect the others first because I don't want to keep grabbing those. So gonna grab these. I'm gonna grab on the X for this one, and again I'm just gonna like go in, just hit the smallest amount just to give it that little detail. And then I'll do the same for these. grab on the Y again. Inward. Beautiful. And the last little bit will be here. Do. Yeah, oh my gosh, perfect. I love this. Amazing. Let me save. I love the way that looks. Okay, cool. The base might be a little too pointy for me. So I'm gonna see how I can get that a little bit more rounded. But the details are doing exactly what I was hoping. So that's really good. Okay, and then let me zoom in here. I'm gonna tab. And I think we're gonna have to add more subdivisions. Like it's the only real answer. Okay, let me tab out. Okay, maybe the last one we can. Okay, maybe. Oh, undo. Let's see. Does that change it? Actually, yeah, I think that looks better when I add a subdivision in between. Oops, undo. So let's put one in between all these. Cool. And then lastly, what I think I'll do, I'll play with this just a little bit more. I'm gonna jump into isolation mode. There's something's off that I don't like. So I'm gonna see how I can fix this. Like what's causing it to look so not right. So maybe if I select like if I scale these down or something, we can get it to look a little bit better. this point I'm just being a little like anal, but it's like we're right there, so I don't want to give up, you know what I mean? I don't want to give up. Okay. Yeah, and that's scaling it at its individual origins, which is giving us more of a rounded look. But if we do median, let's see what that gives. Okay, I'm seeing what's happening. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, okay. This might even be a vibe if I pull it up. But if we start intersecting geometry, then we're in a whole separate beast. So if I grab on the Z, let me see how far up I can go before it gets weird. But low key, I kind of like that. Hold on, let me jump out of here. Okay, I like that actually. That works for me. Alright, I'm gonna jump out of isolation mode with that. I'm gonna leave it there. Let me save it. I actually really like that design. That's really pretty. And then what we can do, once we add the subdivision, is use proportional editing to give it like that really pretty like bell shape. But we at least have the details on it, which was the main focus of this. So very, very excited. Cool. Very, very happy about that. Okay, now what we can do is I'm gonna just, now that we're here, I think that's the basic shape of what we want. I'm gonna go here. I'll tab into edit mode. I don't know if I need to add the apply the subdivision just yet, so we'll see if I can do it without. And still get the same result, because sometimes I don't like to add the subdivision or apply it because the computer just starts moving all slow and stuff. So let me go here, go to the bottom, and maybe face select. We'll grab this face. Maybe we'll just do something like that so we can We may need to subdivide it. I'm trying not to. I think that's pretty solid. And then you know what? I'll take this and we'll just scale this out just a bit. I love that. I think that works for me. I'm gonna switch my earphones. The right one is, the left one's hurting. Alright, I think we can leave our glass alone. As far as modeling goes, we can add a solidify modifier on there. I think I can also scale it up. A lot because it's the scaling's not quite what we need it to be. I'm gonna light a little sage for the vibes. Let me just get this lit. Oops. Yes, if you need to take a little break or something, feel free. Alright, I'm just gonna work on a little bit of the scaling. So why don't I scale this up? Even just a little, that looks even better. Control S, Alt S, I meant to apply the scale. I always do that. Okay. All right, now we can start once this is done saving. Oh no, what did I do? Why is it doing that? That's really not what I want, so. Okay, so we have that, and then I'm gonna add a solidify modifier, which might not be the vibes for this necessarily because of all the geometry. So I'm gonna see. Yeah, that's not gonna work. So the alternative, tab into edit mode. God, what are we gonna do? Face select for sure. Alright, what are we gonna do to stop? To solidify this because there's no way I can select. I could press C, I guess, and just select everything on the inside. Alright, that's what we'll do. So I'm just gonna select was really giving me a run for my money. But that's how it seems to work with like all these projects. Like, I will go into it thinking it's going to be so easy. And then there's just so many challenges. But honestly, I think this is what I like about modeling. It's just like a puzzle. And then especially when you take time off of Blender, it can be tough, like getting back into the groove. Even a week, you know? It's only been a week since I've been on Blender. And I mean, to be honest, I did do actually a Ducky 3D project, which was really fun, using proximity geometry nodes. And I was working on learning how to kind of use proximity. So essentially when one object interacts with another, but using geometry nodes instead of free modeling like I'm doing now. So I did actually do that this week. I have it. I just never posted it yet, so I do need to do that. Okay, cool. So we're just adding thickness this way. So maybe we won't make it too thick, but we need some thickness so that it looks like glass when we do it. Okay, maybe I came out the wrong way, because I think going inward is just not the vibes. Because I want to use that same method. We'll just go that thick. I think that's all we can afford right now. I want to use that same method to create a book for a short film that I do want to work on. So I'm totally done with this cup. But I think it looks great. I'm proud of it. We're going to shade smooth it, and we're going to leave it there. Cool. Now we can start working on the inside stuff, which is the fun part. So yeah, I did do some proximity work in geometry nodes. I can post that file. It's definitely a Ducky 3D file, but I love Ducky 3D tutorials. I think they're awesome. I think they're super awesome. So definitely want to get that up. I did render it out and everything. I just never got a chance to post it. And then let's get some assets here that we're gonna need. Or you know what, let's just do our whipped cream in the base. So I want to use this. I'm gonna jump into isolation mode for this. I will do x-ray mode. Wireframe x-ray mode. I'm gonna use metaballs for this one. So this should be fairly easy. Why don't we go to top-down view? I think that'll be better. Shift A, metaball. Let's scale you down a ton. And I want to make it considerably small because we want it to look, you know, like whipped cream. So I'm just going to shift D a bunch and just start filling it in. And then we'll play with different heights in a bit to give it that that look. I guess we can jump into this view now. Doesn't need to be x-ray, because now we're just filling it with whipped cream. yeah, so like I was mentioning, I love these sorts of projects because one, not only are they like so satisfying, but I don't know, they just challenge you in a way. Like I mentioned, I was going to do a perfume, but I couldn't think of which perfume I wanted to do. And typically when I want to model a perfume, it's like a perfume that I've been obsessing over that I want. And I just couldn't think. All the perfumes that I love, I've done. So I was like, I don't know. And I don't want to rush that. Like, I really enjoy doing perfume renders. So maybe later in the week I can get one done. Because the goal is to start going live a lot more during the week. Of course, I was wanting to also do some Sims content, but there's like a whole controversy right now with the Sims and EA and them being sold to this really terrible private company. And I just don't know if now's the best time to dive into that sort of content, because I don't align with a lot of those beliefs as far as that company goes. So I struggle with that, definitely. So I'm just kind of seeing what happens with that as far as the Sims content goes. All right, let me select all of my meta balls here, 35 to be exact. I'm gonna grab on the Z and just get y'all into our cup a little bit better. That looks so good. And let me scale it so that it fits inside the cup a lot better. If you have anything peering out, just do that. Something like that. Beautiful. I think that looks so good. And then we can just select some of the individual meta balls and put them where they need to go. But I think that looks good for the first base. Let's get a few that are kind of poking out. So let's put them inside. There we go. Okay, now let me look from the top view. Beautiful. I'm just going to do a quick 360, make sure we don't have any meta balls sticking out. Pull that one in. Let's see. Let's grab on the Y and pull that in a little bit. There we go. Looping around. We got one sticking out right there. Let's grab that one, pull it in. And then if we look up top, looks good. All right, I think that first layer is pretty good. Now I'm going to add my blueberries. So let me save this. And I think what I'll do with this particular project, I'm going to save each layer of the meta balls separately. And we'll get this whole thing into a collection. So this could be like our blueberry parfait. And we'll just save it in one collection, but we'll save each layer, starting with layer 1 of the meta balls, so that if we do need to go back and fix it, manipulate it, or whatever, we can do that. Because layer 1, you can see it's like already 35 meta balls. So I'm gonna select all these meta balls for this layer. I'm gonna hit M, new collection. Do I have underscore? I'll just do an underscore. So we'll do blueberry parfait. And then so now we're working in the blueberry parfait, and then I wonder if I can do a collection within a collection. Is that like a thing? I mean, I can merge it, but I don't think I'm ready to merge. So I'm pretty sure you can do a collection within a collection. Let me see, I guess. Yeah, I think you can do a collection in a collection. So let's just do, we'll name this BP layer. Perfect, yeah, so we got BP layer 1, that's the cylinder, and then we'll eventually put the base in there wherever it is. I think it's this one. Let's put the vert in there, so that's our glass. Cool, so this is layer 1, and then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna find some blueberries. Let's get some blueberries in here. Oh my gosh, do I have blueberries in another file? Can't be. No way. Hold on, let me see. That's no good. Lego, beehive, lollipop, lemon, vine, lemons, cherries, sponge cake. What did I, oh, blueberries, thank God. Thank God. Okay. So, what I'll do is I'll take this collection. Let me duplicate ya. I'll take blueberry 001. Let's put you in the blueberry parfait. Let's see. Boom, we got blueberries. Tons and tons of blueberries. Cool, cool. So now let me select objects. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Okay, grab on the X. Let's pull you over, and then we'll just start adding blueberries to this. How fun. So if we do, okay, hold on. Blueberries are already colored and everything. I love that. So let's do some of our shader, because if we can just do our shader, we can rock out and do it in a better editor here. So let's just go here. I'm pretty sure I already have a EV glass shader. Boom. Now we got invisible right there. Amazing. EV glass shader. So now when I'm adding the different layers, you know, we can see it. And we can even go as far as changing our background color for now. So let's make it a yellow. Ooh, that's kind of sickening, huh? We'll just do like a shade. Just so it looks, you can see what we got going on here. A little bit of a hue. Alright, we'll do something like that, and then we can start adding our blueberries. So let's just, oops, I don't want to hide it. Let's grab let me go top view maybe. These blueberries are way too big. Let me select all of them and then shrink them down so that they're roughly the same size at the minimum. Blueberry parfait, do that. Blueberries. Let's select objects, and I'm going to scale them all down so that they make sense. See what size we want here. Okay, let me scale it down. This is so cool. Okay. I think that's pretty good for scale. Cool. And then let's start. We can go back into layout mode now. We can even allow our base. Is our base there? Oh, we did isolation mode, so let's jump out real quick. Cool, cool. So let's grab on the Z, let's pull them all down. And honestly, okay. Let's just start getting these babies. Beautiful. So we'll just start placing them just like you see in the parfait. And if we need to scale them up a little bit, we can. But let's just get them on the whipped cream. This is so cool. I'm excited to do like layer by layer. Oops. Oh, we got a parfait. Wonder, do I model a little far away? Because I can come closer, I guess, right? Let's pull it closer. Because if you're gonna watch me build this, you know, you want to be right up on it like that. Is this not the coolest thing? Or am I tripping? So cool. I love doing stuff like this. And I know a lot of them are like in the front of the glass, so I'll fix that. I just want to get them in the general vicinity. have to add a little, just a tinge of color to the whipped cream, or whatever that is, like yogurt or whatever it is. Frosting. This one down, and then we'll use that macaroon layer like I mentioned. We'll add another layer of like whipped cream, or frosting, whatever we want it to be, and then we'll do the macaroon layer, and so on and so forth. And I think that'll be really cool. I'm very excited about the end result of this one. Honestly. I'm glad I decided to do this one. I know it's so random, but when I thought about going live this week, I was like, it's gotta be the parfait. Like, I just can't imagine not doing him. So I'm glad. This will be a really cool project to have finished, because I've been thinking a lot about it. And then I do think those macaroons as well, those are super pretty. So I think I would like to do that as well. Let's move this one closer to us. So we're gonna grab this one on the Y, and we're gonna pull her right to the front. We also just don't want her to like peek out of the glass, so I'm looking to the right of my screen over here to make sure it's not coming out of the glass. Okay, let me grab on the X. Maybe a little something like that. And let me rotate it. Something like that. Ugh. This is so satisfying, because it's so satisfying for me. Alright, I'm gonna start pulling them. Okay, see how that one's kind of coming out of the glass, so let's go back, pull it back into the glass here. We'll get it right against the glass, so like there. I'm looking in this screen right here, so I can see what's happening. Let's rotate this one as well. And now I'm just shifting, grabbing on the X. I'm gonna grab on the Z so we can get it really at the base. And then I'll grab it on the Y to put it back into the glass, because it's not in the glass anymore. Whoops. Let me just do X-ray mode really quick so I can grab that blueberry. Oops, I'm gonna go here. Let's grab on the X over here. Alright, and then I'll pull that back on the Y. Just make sure it's in there fully. How's that? Okay, cool. like it, I like it. And then we'll put a few more in the front. So let me click back into X-ray mode because I can just Shift D. Whoops. So let me maybe Shift D those two. So jumping back here, I'm going to Shift D. And then I'm going to grab these two on the Y. Pull them forward. Like that. And 44. Let's grab and pull you down. Maybe like that. And then 45. I'll pull you forward. Whoops. Boom. And then let's grab on the Z. Let's get you more like that. I really like this so much. I'm going to Shift D again. And I want to grab on the Y again and see how close to the edge I can get. And then I want to go down and just get it like, yes, like that. And then I want to rotate this so it doesn't look like I duplicated it. And then maybe we'll take, gotta go into X-ray mode once more. Want that blueberry. And I want to Shift T that one. And I want to grab on the Y and pull that one forward as well, as close as I can get it to the edge. Maybe like that. I'm going to grab on the Z and I want to fill just this area right here with a blueberry. Making sure it's not coming out of the glass. Let's put it in. And then maybe we rotate. Maybe I'll do something like that, and then maybe grab on the Z and pull it way to the base, and then it's sticking out just slightly like that. Okay, let me save because we did a lot of work here. I love that. And then I can even go as far as pulling maybe the top layer of blueberries down just a little bit. But I'm loving the way this is coming out. And then I think what I'll do is I'll literally shift. We gotta put all these blueberries in a collection to keep everything nice and organized. And then I think what I'll do is I'll shift. I'm gonna pull this one up. This looks kinda, I'm not loving the way that looks, that blueberry. Just a little low for me. So I'm just gonna pull it up just a little bit. Okay. And then I'm gonna go back into this mode really quick so that I can select all my top ones here. So I'm holding down Shift, not the meta balls. hide this for 1 second. Get out of edit mode. Alright, let me just hide this really quick. Just to save ourselves the headache. So I'm gonna just get all these guys, I think. And let me just grab on the X and pull them down. Not that much. Maybe like that much. And then give me this guy right here. And shifty. I'm gonna grab on the Y. And I'm gonna put it right there, I think. And let me pull it down. Like into the... And then I'll also rotate it. Okay. I think that's a good layer. Let's get our cylinder back. I think that's a great layer right there. I think that's fabulous. And the next thing's next. Let's just repeat before we do that, so we don't get... Oh no, the blueberries are in one collection, so that's great. So we can just leave all the blueberries in the blueberry collection, and then this is our meta balls. So blueberry layer 1 is the meta balls. Blueberries at 001 will be just our blueberries. So for this, what I'm gonna do, literally, I'm gonna duplicate the collection. And then let's select the objects. I'm gonna grab on the Z and pull that up. And because it's a meta ball, it's like gonna respond. So we can literally put it right on top. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scale on the Z because this layer is not as thick. So we're just doing a very thin layer. If you notice, it's like a very thin layer. So I'm just gonna do that. Then we'll grab on the Z. Do a little something like that. And then I'll scale on the Z a little bit, just so we can cover the tops of those blueberries. Something like that. You still want those blueberries to show, but okay, cool. And then looking in this viewport, just making sure nothing's peeking through. I think we're good for now. It just starts getting wider up at the top, so we'll have to scale it once we get there. Now we can use our macaroon layer. So here's our macaroon. So here's our macaroon. And what I'm gonna take from this is it's called the feet. So this part of the macaroon. So let's do cylinder 004 we'll take, or cylinder 014. I'm gonna put that just into our layer here. Then everything else will hide. And then I'm gonna grab on the X, pull it over. And then let's look at the top view. Let's back up a bit. Let me grab, and I'm gonna scale. And then we'll just try to get it to fit perfectly. Let's see where we're at with it. have some sticking out, but we can work with that. We scale it down some more. There's like a rotation and stuff going on, so we'll work with that. Scale it on the Y. Make it a little bit more of a circle. I think that looks good, and then let's scale it up. Looking in the bottom right to make sure it doesn't peek through the glass. Amazing. And then I want to scale on the on the Z, because it's a pretty thick layer of cake. So pulling it up, there is a bit of a rotation I'm seeing, so I'm gonna rotate this a bit so we can make it look flat. Scale on the Z. I want like a thick layer of cake. Really give it that texture, you know? So we'll do something like that. Gorgeous. And then I want to do another thin. So you see there's one layer here, and then there's like another little like crunchy layer. Let's add that. So I'm going to take this same macaroon. I'm going to shift D, because it's the perfect size, so we don't need to use the other one any longer. I'll do that, but instead of making it this thick, let's go ahead and scale that on the Z, and we'll just make this the very thin layer of crunchy crunch. And let's grab that on the Z. I'm obsessed. And then let's just scale this and make it just a little bigger, paying attention that we're not cutting through. And I think we can even make this one a little bit bigger, just to really get it. Okay, I think that's as big as we can get it. I don't know why I went to edit. Okay, and I know typically we'll wait for the end to do the shading, but I'm just needing us to do the shading. So instead of this, we're not gonna do this. We'll do, I just wanna do the shading as we go, because I just think it's gonna be so satisfying to see all the colors. So let's pull out and use our reference photo here. And I'm pretty sure I have a cake color, that color already. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, here we go. God, we are not going to use that one because that gave us so much trouble last few weeks ago. Okay, let's see what pound cake looks like. Beautiful. There we have it. Literally perfect. And then let's give me X-ray mode. Let me click this one. And I think we'll do pound cake again. Let me see, I might have a perfect color. I mean, I've used so many. But we can do pound cake again, but then I'll do a new one. Let me jump into this. We'll just make this darker. So I'll jump into here. And if anything, what we'll do is we'll flip this. And we'll do a small amount of light. Same colors, we're just flipping it. Mostly dark. And we can even pull the highlights even look like smaller. This is more entry layer. Beautiful. And then why don't we color our metal balls while we're at it? Oh, we're probably gonna have to join it, so we won't do that just yet. We'll leave it just the default. Cool. So that's where we are so far. Let's save it. And I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, and I will be right back. Duplicate collection, and then we'll select objects. Let's grab on the Z, and this is a very thick layer, so we're going to scale on the Z and make it super thick. Sure we're not breaking through the glass. We need it even thicker, so let's scale on that. Like that. And there is a bit of like breaking through that we're seeing, so that's okay. Breaking through of like the pastry cake part, so I'm scaling. Pretty high. Yeah, I love this. Okay. Beautiful. So we got that layer. And the next layer, we'll start putting our blueberries again. start getting these guys in there. I love this so much. I think it's coming out so wonderful. I'm so happy about it. I'm just gonna get these onto the whipped cream and then I'll pull some to the front. But I just want to get them in the glass. And then we'll worry about changing the placement. Last of these blueberries into the whipped cream. I call it whipped cream, frosting, yogurt, whatever. We'll say whipped cream for okay, and then we'll duplicate some of the front ones to just make it. And then also what I'll do once I merge each layer of the meta balls, I'll go into sculpt mode and I'll sculpt it so that everything kind of sticks right against the glass and just really gives that like stuffed glass full of goodness. But I think so far so good. Another reason I love these kinds of projects because it'll start off like, oh God, how am I gonna do this? And then 2 hours in, it's like we're working on something real good. Like, I think this looks awesome. And to just be able to take like a photo and create like a 3D anything with it is so cool to me. So, you know, I don't know, I love these sorts of projects because they push my abilities for sure. And I think these are great practice to get back in the groove if take any amount of time off. They're not too intense. Like for me, geometry nodes are really intense right now, but I definitely can utilize the skill in a lot of different projects that I have in the pipeline. So it's like it's definitely going to be worth it to dive more into geometry nodes, but they kind of make your brain hurt when you're really trying to just get a grasp. And I mean, I've used geometry nodes a good amount of times in my life, but you know, anytime it's something new, it can be a bit overwhelming. So I like these kinds of projects, like modeling and just testing myself in different ways, because they're just like fun. I really do enjoy them. So I think that's why I picked these and perfume models, because I just really enjoy just like the low stakes of it. Okay, so now I'm just duplicating some of the blueberries so that it gives it a little bit of a more dynamic look. I'll also start rotating some of them so it doesn't look so uniform. Where are we at with it? I think we are. Okay, so I'm just gonna rotate some of them randomly. Look at it from like another viewpoint. Not that many blueberries, so we can add more for sure. So maybe if we go to top view and let's just shift D, just add some more. Not really gonna see the ones in the center because we're just doing more whipped cream, so I'm not gonna overdo it with that. But if we do some sort of a spinning animation or something for this, we'll want there to be blueberries kind of peeking through on the edges at least. So I'll just add a few more to the edges. Maybe like that, and then maybe those few we can grab on the Z and pull them down a little bit more. Go into X-ray mode again, grab that one, and let's grab on the Z, pull you down into the whipped cream a bit more. Same thing with maybe that guy and this guy. Okay, let's pull that down even more into the whipped cream. Let's also pull this guy down even more in the whipped cream. Same here. Maybe same here. Maybe like that. Same here. Let's rotate. That way maybe. Let's get our cylinder back. All right, cool. We got a layer. Let me hide my cylinder one more time. I want to grab this on the Z, pull it down a bit more, and then rotate it. Like that. Okay, and that's where I want to be with that so far. I'm going to save this layer. And then I'm going to do another layer of whipped cream and then another layer of whipped cream. This next layer of whipped cream, we will merge it so that we can change the color. So we just have a whipped cream layer, another whipped cream layer. We have some already made whipped cream like this, like little dollops of whipped cream that we've already modeled. We'll put a little bit more whipped cream on top. And then as far as adding the tiny little details, I would love to go into paint mode or even grease pencil and add some hand-drawn textures, because I really think that that's gonna elevate it if we could add some grease pencil, because I do like to use, if you notice, like the blueberries have an outline as if it's like a watercolor, so I do enjoy that style. So if we could incorporate some grease pencil details, and I can use my Wacom pad, that would be really cool. That may take a little extra effort, but we'll see. So I'm going to duplicate this layer again. So duplicate collection. I'm going to select objects, grab on the Z, pull it up, scale on the Z, scale it completely. And then again, I'm going to go into sculpt mode and manipulate the meta balls so that they are exactly touching the edges of the glass. So we'll do something like that. I'll put a blueberry right there. But for this collection, I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna convert to mesh. This one here, this one's fine. Oh, is that all of them? I think it did all of them. Okay, hold on. Let's undo that. So I just want these only to be a mesh, not the others. But I think because it's touching the others, it's doing that. So let me grab on the Z and pull it out so that it's not quite touching. And then let me see if that helps. Nope, it's converting all of them to a mesh. Which is like fine. I just feel like I want it to be separate. So let me do L. And then I'm gonna do P, selection, tab. Let me tab out. All right, now, I mean, it's all converted, which is like fine, but it's not exactly what I wanted just yet. But if I want to color it, we're gonna have to do that. So I'm tabbing in, I'm gonna select L, P, selection, L, P, selection. All right, so this is one piece, this is one piece, this is one piece. Okay, I'm fine with that. That's okay. But you know what? That's actually terrible. It's fine. It's fine, because I can always just do another layer of meta balls. It's no big deal. Okay. So let's get our cup. Let me grab on the Z. These are not necessarily going to interact too much, but that's also okay. Feeling like we need a blueberry right in that space. So let me oh god. What's this one? Cylinder. Alright, so I need this. Shift T. Grab on the X. Grab on the Y. Okay, that's cool. Okay, and then all right, so now we have our separate meta balls, and then if I do shading, change it to blueberries, but we gotta just make it a little bit lighter. I'm gonna flip the ramp again. Bring the white down, and we want mostly this blue. Shadow. kind of want to add one more layer of cookie, just to kind of split up the, I'm gonna do like one layer of cookie and then whipped cream. I think I'll do that. So let's do Shift D. Let's grab on the Z. Yeah, I'm wanting that in there. Let me scale you up. Right there. Then I'll add another big layer of whipped cream. Oh no. Let's get you back. Yes, we'll do that. Shifty this meta ball. And then I'm going to add more meta balls on top. Let's scale. Let's do okay. Little bit of like intersection, but not so much. So we'll do like that. And jump into shading really quickly. Shader that I want to use, or whipped cream, I forget. Like pink frosting. Do I just have a plain frosting? Okay, what's this? No, we don't want that one. lemon icing maybe. We can do that color. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Lemon icing. Lemon icing. Perfection. Alright, so we have the basic foundation. Definitely go into sculpt mode and pull everything right to the edge so it'll look really filled in. So we have blue. I added an additional cake layer. We have another level of frosting. Now we'll just put the little dollops of whipped cream, which we have from a previous file. I think the lemon pastry we used was whipped cream. Yep, literally right here. So I'm going to let that be visible. Which whipped cream are we picking? Let's do this one, Shifty. Cool. And let's add that to our parfait. And then let's also Shifty. And we'll add that to our parfait. Let's hide the lemon pastry again. And then I'll grab on the Z. Grab on the X. We'll change the color. It has like a pink hue to it. But for now it works. Let's grab on the Z. I think I should put one more layer of meta balls to really kind of amp it up, honestly. But let me scale this up. Let's get the origin to geometry, and then I'll scale it. I want a big dollop. Okay, let me do this. Top view, let me grab, pull this one to the edge. Another one. Okay, something like that. I think I'll do one more layer of meta balls to fill in around the whipped cream. first I want to put our little flower. Put our little flower. I'll add a few more blueberries. Go for about 30 more minutes. I'm so hungry. I'm gonna grab something to munch on really quickly while this is saving. So I will literally be right back in 2 seconds. Cashews and raisins and some cheese. I just need anything so I can knock these hunger pains out. So good. I love cashews. Okay. Amazing. That's all I needed right there. Sorry about all the noise. Okay. Okay, perfect. A little something to tie me over. I also wanting to make a chili in the crock pot, so I'll probably do that later. Okay, so I want to add a few more meatballs to the top so that it gets right to the edge. So I think I'll click all the whipped creams, grab on the Z. We're going to be kind of floating about here. And then I'm going to shift a metaball. And I just want it like right so they're not so uniform. So we'll make some lots lower. Some higher. And then when we sculpt, we can, of course, manipulate it even more. For now, I just want to get anything that's like peeking out back in. Pieces peeking out. We got it. What's that looking like? See if we scale on the Z what that gives. That layer is not that thick, it's pretty thin. Why aren't we working? Isn't scaling for me, so let's just convert it to a mesh. Convert to mesh, and then I can probably do it. Yep. Alright, so I'm going here. Scale you on the Z. Just give you that nice little top layer you're looking for. Grab on the Z. Get all of our whipped cream. Plopped in there. This one we don't need. I'm gonna do Control L, link materials. Okay, so we'll do that. Actually, it's okay. We'll do that for now. And then, oh my gosh, what happened to that layer? Oh Lord. What happened to my cake? When did that disappear? What happened? And I don't even know when that disappeared. Oh, you know what? Probably when I pressed X. God. Let me see. I don't know when it disappeared. Damn. It's okay. We'll just... When did my cake disappear? That's so annoying. I mean, I could just put it back, but... It's like, when did that go away? Did I delete it? Or is it hidden? That's so annoying. It's fine. All right. We'll just do this cylinder. It's so weird. So weird. colors like that. That's fine. Alright, let's put the finishing touches. Or at least get everything. I think there's a lot, not a lot, but a good amount more that I could do to push this further. And by that I mean just like pulling and manipulating the meta balls so they're squished against the glass. I'm gonna add the blueberries to the top, the flowers. And then what I could do is use the particle system, make these collision objects, and drop some particles on the top, and that'll give it kind of like those sprinkles that we got going on there. Or like I mentioned, I could go into grease pencil and just draw in the details, which I think could be really cool. I think I would want to do the grease pencil way after I do the sculpting. So let's get the flower on there. Close all this up. It was a pastry that we have the flower. So let's open that back up. Cute little flower. Shifty. Let's put it there. Close that up. Let's go ahead and set the you where I want you. Probably about here. Then look from this point of view. Grab on the Z. And then rotate on the X, I think, the other way, like that. Beautiful. That's cool. And the last little bit is some blueberries on top. We have to do a little mint leaf. Actually, that's the last little piece to this puzzle. As a matter of fact, let's pull this down just a little bit more. I think we can expand this a little bit so that it doesn't look as uneven, and add a few blueberries over here. Down a little bit so you can see it. Let's pull it down into the whipped cream a little bit more. Same with this one. Let's pull it down a bit more. And then we need a little mint leaf. Maybe one more blueberry. Over here somewhere, like in the corner. And then let me just make sure it's in the glass. Can't really tell. Let me look over here. Yeah, it's not in the glass. So let's fix that. I'm gonna grab on the Y and just pull it in to my whipped cream. Is that in there? Beautiful. Okay. I mean, we can even go as far as pulling this blueberry down just a little, but maybe we do want it to show from the front view. Yeah, and I think the little green mint leaf will add enough contrast to make it really interesting. Let me save it. And then the last little thing that I wanted to do was to jump into sculpt mode. Manipulate the meta balls so that they're exactly against the side of the glass. We didn't do a spoon, but We're gonna skip the spoon for now. I gotta make some food. I'm hungry. I'm a hungry girl. But all in all, I'm really pleased with how this is looking, how this came out. It's really fun. It's a really fun project to work on. So I'm trying to think if I have any mint leaves, but you know what? I might. Let me look in my let me look over here and see what I have, because I may have a mint leaf that I've already done. Let me just think. Popsicle plate. The lemon pastry does not have any mint. The pumpkin, lemon size strawberry cake. Strawberry cake could. Let's see what that has. I can't remember though. I don't think the strawberry cake has any mints. It doesn't. Sponge cake does not. Cherries do not. Oh, but you know what? Oh, baby, we do. It's not quite mint, but it's like a green contrasting little leaf. So we'll use this. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm gonna shift D, and I'm gonna take this plain and put it right here in my blueberry parfait. Wow, I'm really glad I don't have to model. Let me Alt-P, clear the parent so that I can move it how I need to. God, I'm so glad I didn't have to model a leaf. Let me just rotate. Oh my gosh, how cute is this? I mean, it's not quite a mint leaf, but it's like, you get the idea. Rotate on the Z. Let me just grab it and we'll put it right here in between the blueberries and the whipped cream. I'm gonna rotate that like that. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. Let me pull it on that a little bit, and then I'll put it in there a little bit more, maybe like that. Oh, I love that. How cute is that little parfait? And I mean, separate sculpting it and getting those. Let's do that really quick, because it's like, let's not even play games. Let's just get that done. We're just gonna click on our meta balls and let's click on our meta balls, go into sculpt mode, meta ball. Let's start with the bottom layer. Which one is that? That's that layer? Okay. So let's jump into sculpt mode. Oh, baby. That base is all sorts of out of whack. All right, so I'm gonna have to, ooh, how am I gonna do this? Let's see. I mean, I can sculpt in this mode, I think. Maybe I can sculpt in this. Yeah, we'll sculpt in this mode. Oh, but is it? Hold on. Okay, we're good, we're good. All right, let me undo that. So, let me make, do I want to use my Wacom? I can just use my mouse, it's okay. It's not that. It's not, we don't need it. Sculpting in this mode is going to be really hard though. It makes my computer really slow, but we're going to do this. Okay, let me just make this much smaller. Maybe like that size. And then what do we have? We have grab. What's this one? Grab 2D. Yes, give me grab 2D. Okay, so I'm just grabbing the edges of the meta ball. want to get it like to the edge so that it looks like it's literally filling the cup. Exactly. Perfect. Okay. Great. And then, is this one a part of this meta ball? I can't. Okay, so let's jump back out. Oof, that looks so much better already. All right, let's click the next meta ball. I think 3 is the next one. Let's jump into sculpting. Let's start manipulating that one. Still using grab 2D. And just pull that nice against the walls of our glass. It's gonna cover some of the blueberries, but we can grab them and pull them back. But amazing. Let me just get this little corner. Okay, let's jump out of this one. Let's check that out. Maybe we'll fix this side. That doesn't look that great. Let me go back. Let me go back. Looks a little weird. So something like that. Okay. Let's see what we got. Jump back into layout mode. Alright, I like that. Let's do the blue layer. Which one is that? 2? Perfect. Let's jump into sculpting mode. Let's come up a little bit so we can really see what we're doing. Let me see if I go into this mode. The colors are just way bright right now and it's stressing me out. Maybe we could do it here without too much problem. I'll just try to go very slow. Perfect. And I'm probably gonna have to flip around the other side, to be honest, because I'm not even like in x-ray mode by any means, so I think I'm just grabbing the front of these meta balls, but nonetheless we get the picture. I'm just really glad to be able to fill it in this way. Make it a little bit smaller. Go ahead. Let me use this up here because I think because I'm in this render mode, it's just going very, very slow right now. Let's just go 79. Oh my god. 79, please. Alright, and then I'm just gonna pull that a little bit. And we'll pull that over. I think that looks good. Let's jump out into layout mode. We can stretch this side a little bit better. Click out. Yeah, we'll stretch this side a little bit better. Let's go back into, oh wait. Are we using this one still? Okay, no, Let me go back to my meta ball. I think it was 2. Jump back into sculpting. We can pull. Let's pull these out a little bit. I'm gonna bump this back up to my 99. That 99. Let's jump out back into layout mode. And now let's do our final layer. Well, I guess second to last final layer. This one. Let me jump into sculpt mode. Same situation. Let's pull it out so that it's touching the sides, less rounded, more like a filled cup. And if anything, for this animation, if I do like a little short or reel, instead of rotating, so I don't have to worry about, so I don't really have to do too much more sculpting. I'll just have maybe like the blueberries and all the toppings fall, and then I'll do like a gentle side by side, like rotation, but I won't do a full 360. Okay, just getting these last few bits. There we go. I do want to add some grease pencil details. But I don't quite have that in me right now. But I do want to add that. Maybe later today once I've eaten. But how are we looking? Let me see. See the blue, I could make it a little bit closer to the edge. Okay, we just have a little bit more to, for some reason this side isn't quite connecting like this side. I want to fix this layer too, that doesn't feel, now we're kind of just tweaking, you know. So the bottom layer looks pretty good. The second layer, let's go back in and just fix this tiny little, this moment right here. It's just not quite the vibes. Let's just make it a little more even there. And then I want to pull this side out. Let's just see if I just grab, regular grab, what does that do for me? Okay. I'm gonna pull this back in because this is kind of sticking out of the glass a bit. So I want to pull that in. I never know if I can switch. No, I don't think you can switch while you're in sculpt mode. So I think I have to go back into layout. Okay, that looks much better, I think. I like that. And then let's do the blue layer. Which one is that? 2. I'm gonna fix that so it's, see, like it looks good here, but for some, oh, you know what? Because it's probably just like the back. So let's just pull the front over and out some more. That's probably what it needs. So, pulling this out just a little bit. We kind of tuck this into the whipped cream layer. Same on this side, I'll kind of tuck it. Not as droopy, maybe just kind of there. I think that's a good representation of it. Still lacking, but we're getting there. I don't understand why though. Okay, I just need to push it further. I don't know why that's not how it's showing up in Sculpt, but okay. Pull it out even more. Feels wrong, but once we hit layout mode. Okay, I think we... still not quite. What's going on? Maybe it's this side. Yeah, we gotta... Okay, we'll just turn. We'll just turn and do what we need to do. I think that's what it is. So let me increase this. So maybe we'll go to like 109. We'll go up like 20. And I'm gonna pull. Pull this out more. Yeah. Let's pull it out. That looks crazy. I need to make it bigger. Let's go 200. Oh my gosh. Let's go 200 and see how big that is. Yeah, 200 might be what I need right now. I'm just gonna pull this out. I also just remembered I have not shade smooth my meta balls just yet, so we do need to do that as well. All right, I'm gonna go for it and just kind of pull. And then I'll fix it where I need to fix it. I don't know why the blue layer is giving me the most problems. Alright, let's see what we got. Moment of truth. Zoom out a little bit. Too much, right? But I can pull that in. That's no big deal. That's no big deal. Let's go back. We're almost there. But this is also why I like working with meta balls because, oh yeah, look at that. We don't want that. This is why I like, oh wait, let's see, what's this? This one's grab. This is elastic grab. Maybe let's see what elastic grab can give us. So I'm gonna do that and then I'm gonna just pull it in because I think I did too much. well, because that's too much. And then I'm going to drop this back down to 99. And I'm going to use that to just fix this little weird situation we got going here. Let me rotate. And I'll pull this down just a little bit. Now let's see what we're looking like in layout mode. Are we in layout? What's going on? Cool. Okay. Not quite. But I guess we're sort of getting there. Let me pull this up. We're almost there. It's like I can't give up now. We're right at the edge. But it's cool. I think we're getting there. Okay, I think that feels pretty good. Let's go back into layout. Okay, the bottom is there. We just gotta get the top. And then we should be good. Okay, let me see. One more time. I don't know if we have it selected. Let me go. Make sure. I think it's Metaball 2. Sculpt. God, why is this like... Okay, let's go to layout and see what that gives. Okay, almost. Go to sculpting. I think this is pulled out a little bit too much. And this is pulled out not enough. Okay, I think I want this to be it. Okay. Let's see. Very close, very close. gonna just pull it in just slightly, and then I think I'll be good. So let me go to the side now. Oh God. Wait, let me look at the front view. And then this is the side view. So it's this part that's kinda. Let me go make sure that I have the meta ball selected, this one. Sculpting, I'm going back into it. Let's pull these down. Okay. I think doing it from the side view is gonna help a lot. And then if anything, why don't what's this one? I forget. Draw. I'm gonna draw some on over here. Draw some here. And let me go back to layout mode. This is so bizarre. So bizarre. Okay. Back into sculpt mode, and now let me just, what's this one? I want to flatten. I'm just going to try to flatten this. And I think that'll help me a lot. Okay. Oh, finally. Oh my gosh. Okay, great. Cool, cool, cool. Let's rock out with that, I think. And then we just have the top one to do, which is, I think, this one. Jump into sculpt mode for this one. Just gonna pull. We'll just grab, and let me look at the front view actually. Okay, we have the front view, so I'm gonna do the side view now, and I'll just pull these edges. I think that's what's kind of making it look weird. To kind of unround those edges. I'll even do the back here, just so that it fits the curve of the glass a little bit better. And I can even make that a little less round, I guess. Let's jump back into layout mode and see. We just gotta fix this little area, and I'll probably pull this back. So let me jump back into sculpt mode here. I'm gonna look at the front one more time, and I'm gonna actually, so it's, I don't know why it looks different in layout mode versus sculpt mode, but we'll see if I can get this to work. Okay, it looks good here. Like if I zoom out, Oh wait, it doesn't look good here. So let me zoom out when I be doing this. That's maybe the issue here. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. So let me just fix it. Okay, let's pull this down some actually. And we can actually do something like that. Same here. Amazing. And then making this a little less rounded. I just want to fill this little gap. Let's undo that. I gotta make this a little bit smaller, so we'll drop back down to 79 like I did before. And I'll pull this. Great. Oh my gosh, I'm really glad. Okay. And then last but not least, let's just do that top layer too. We gotta get that fixed. So I'll do like that. This might be a little bit too... Okay, something like that. Because we still want to see the edge of the glass. We don't want it to look like it's like coming out of the glass. And then the very last layer is going to be this top layer of frosting. So let me save it just in case the computer crashes at the final hour, fourth quarter. One more time. So yeah, it's feeling like I just need to do the top portion. And then, yeah, I think I'll go into grease pencil. I feel like the top portion has a little bit of a blue hue. So I might change the color. Instead of it being the same as the whipped cream, I'll make it a slightly different color, but that's not critical. All right, let me just do this last little... I'm sorry, I have to fix this. This is like driving me crazy. It's just sticking out a little bit too much. Look at that, that's like sticking out. So interesting. Also, let me pick up the, let's just go 100. Just gonna increase the size of that so we can pull this in. Come out and see what that looks like. Much better, you know? Much, much better. Maybe same here, right there, boom, leave it. Okay, cool. We'll leave that like that. Now let me do this last little bit here. Let me go back into sculpt mode for this one. Why isn't it going? Okay, there we go. Let me just, what am I doing with this? I think I just want to pull it in a little. Oh, undo that. Just kidding. I just want to pull it in. There we go. Just want to pull it in and melt it into the bottom. So again, like pull this in some. Yeah, I feel that. I like that. And let me just pull this in too. Cool. Yeah, I think I feel good about this. I think I feel comfortable leaving it right here. Wow. I can't believe I did this. I mean, I can, but we gotta fix that. Let me back up and see what it looks like. I mean, that's a parfait. You know, like I mentioned, I would really like to like amp it up a little bit with you know what we could do? Hold on. I know what we could do with this shading, so let's do this instead. Lemon icing. Is this like, I'm gonna make this its own color, so I'm gonna click that. Let's click this. Let's go in here and let's add color. It's as simple as that. Let's take this blue. Oh, yuck. That's not what we're looking for. Okay, let's switch it. Let's give... That's not a pretty blue at all. But we can amp it up. Let's make it more bright, more vibrant. Yeah, something like that. Exactly. And then this is like a gross color. I don't know what color that is. Let's make that more vibrant. Okay, that gives it just a little bit of a like difference to let me see if I flip the ramp what that looks like. And then I think I like that better. Like I'll flip the ramp and then I'll pull the blue back a bunch. Pull the blue back. We'll pull this in. And then we'll pull a little white. And not as well. Maybe we want white here. I think I'm digging that, the white there. And then we'll pull whatever this like yellow situation. Let's pull that back a little bit. I think I'm cool with that for the switch up of the vibes. There's like a little bit of a blue tinge there. Maybe we can even scale it even more. Like give blue more of a... Yeah, I think that's really pretty. And then the whipped cream can have like a vanilla color, so that's why it's a little bit more of that brown, or like the whipped cream frosting. And then actual whipped cream will be like, I think this one has like a pink hue to it, so we can actually change that as well. This is from a previous project. Yeah, so this has a pink hue. So, let me see what I want to do. Let's go back up. I'll make it a new one. Just so I don't affect like previous files. And then I'm gonna change this pink to more of a blue. I'll just go more blue like that. I don't know if we can really see it too much, but that's fine. Alright, let's jump into layout. I'm gonna save it one last time. Outside of the sculpting being just a little bit wonky, I'm actually very happy with this. I could probably go in and fix the sculpting much better, but I think my brain is fried. I've been on for like 4 hours at this point. So I think we have a fried brain, but for the most part, comparing the picture to our parfait, I mean, if you look over here, don't look over here, you know, a lot of errors. I just gotta pull some of the whipped cream back inside, but straight on, it looks fantastic, I think. This was a really fun project to work on. I was dreaming of making this project. So the fact that it's pretty much done is really fun. Definitely want to add some details in grease pencil, but I think I need to take a step away. Let's put our background back to white, just because. Just want a nice white background. Oh, hello. Why isn't it? Okay. Wait. Cool. So if I go to layout. Alright, amazing. There's our parfait. I really like it. I'm really happy, considering I just wanted to see if I could do it. So the fact that we got here, the fact that we were able to make it look pretty close to the photo. I mean, the only thing missing are the final details, but for the most part, it's there. Let's zoom this in a little bit so we can really compare what we got going. So I think let's rotate this so we don't have to look in the back. No, the whole thing's kind of wonky, but all in all, I'm very pleased with this project. I think I had a great time doing it. I really enjoyed it. I love using meta balls. It's my new jam. So here we have it, a blueberry parfait, cake in a cup. I don't know. I just think it's so pretty. So that's it, I think, for today's live. I'm gonna go get some food, take the pup out, do a few other things that I have to do today, and then I'll get this posted up probably in a short. I haven't posted for about a week, so we'll get this posted up. I'll do a cute little animation and we'll throw it up, and that'll be some more content. I have some other stuff working in the background, so I'm really excited to be able to share those things. I do also have a Ducky 3D render that I did. I can get that posted too. It's using proximity. I'd mentioned it earlier in the live. And that's really all. I had a great time today. I'm glad I got to jump in and do a little work in Blender. Definitely made me feel so much better. So I'll definitely see y'all next Monday. I think next Monday we'll do a perfume render. I really miss those, and just like the elegance and the complication of it. So I'll find a really cool perfume to render for next week, unless I think of something else, but I feel like that'll be a really cool thing to do. And that's really all. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope this brought you some sense of calm. Maybe you learned something, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. If you find something that calms you, brings you zen, don't forget to make space for it. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.